So I did your chart, by the way.
I already saw it. Good evening, and if you're just tuning in, you are listening live to the Angel Rock on 105.3 and 107.7 out of New Orleans, Louisiana. And I am your host, Lorilei Potvin. If you've never been to the show, welcome. A little bit about the show. I cover all aspects, I say, of the esoteric, spirituality, with a little bit of paranormal and some truth-seeking thrown in there. I am a Canadian clairvoyant medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher and mentor, and registered nurse. Oh, I forgot to mention too, it's UFO Paranormal Radio Network, or it's also known as United Public Radio Network, or we just call it UPRN. Now, if you want to join in the conversation, I see Erica, my resident crystal whore. She'll get what we'll talk about that in a minute, why I call her that. I just love her. She's hilarious. So if you want to join the conversation, the best places to go are UFO Paranormal Radio, either on Facebook. We have a page there. You can watch it on my profile. It's public on Lorilei Potvin on Facebook. Better yet, on UFO Paranormal Radio on YouTube. And it's also streaming to my YouTube channel as well, which is the Angel Rock. So lots of places to watch. Just so you know, I forget to mention this a lot. A lot of people message me after the show's been live and say, oh my gosh, I missed the show. You never have to worry about that. There are always archives. We are carried anywhere where talk radio or podcasts are carried. You name of it, even obscure apps, you will find UPRN. Also, there's always a video backup with YouTube, my own channel. I have a backup of every show, Facebook, so lots of places. So if you see something you like here tonight, please subscribe, share, and let your friends know about it and family, because there's something new for everybody on this network. We have all kinds of new hosts. I've been doing a lot of producing behind the scenes. I've met a lot of our new hosts, and they are amazing. They're fantastic. They're from all over the world. Never mind all of us regulars that have been around here for a while. So be sure to check it out. And then just to let you know, we do stream 24 hours. So if we're not live, we also have some shows that syndicate to us. But if we're not live, the archive server's been going all the time. So there are shows. This network's almost, I believe, 25 years old. So there's some oldies and goodies shows that we'll be streaming. One last thing. I want to let you know that UPRN also has their own TV channel on Roku. I don't stream the Angel Rock there yet, but David and I'm not sure if we're going to do it past this week. We'll see. We do stream to UPRN page, or I guess channel on Roku. So if you want to find it, I don't have a channel code for you. Easiest thing to do is to go to sign into your Roku account. You're going to go to the channel store. You're going to go to search. You're looking for UFO space P as in paranormal. And there's going to be a list that'll come up. We're about the third or fourth one down. You're looking for UFO space paranormal and United Public Radio, and that's our channel. So I also want to wish everybody in the United States or around the world who does celebrate Memorial Day weekend, happy Memorial Day. We've got tons of people here. I'm going to call them out in just a second. I want to introduce our returning guest. You all love her. I think this is her third visit. We were chatting before. She's coming back even with another book. This lady is so prolific. I need to learn from her. I've got 3 books I got to write. It's Carmen Turner-Schott. And I'm going to let you tell them all about you. I have a big write-up on you, but you can tell them all about you. Welcome.
No, thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Carmen, and I've been doing astrology since I was 16 years old. I kind of taught myself and started doing consultations at age 19, and it became my big love and my passion, and I've always kind of used it as a tool to help others understand themselves and others and to gain self-awareness. And astrology changed my life. It validated my experiences that I couldn't explain, why I was so sensitive and intuitive and felt so different from everyone. So I love it. And I love to teach it on a basic level and teach people the basics. So my book that came out last year was Sun Signs, Houses, and Healing. And I was on for that. And then this is my newest book, Moon Signs, Houses, and Healing. And she's got a copy too, yes. And it just came out this month. And so it's available, Amazon, Llewellyn, Barnes & Noble. You can find it out. And it's a basic guide about the moon and the moon sign. So most people know their sun sign, because that's your date and year and, month. But a lot of people don't know their moon. And so, I'll tell you right now, if you know your moon, you can put it in the comments and then we can kind of talk a little bit about the moon signs, because I know Lorilei, I know her moon. Lorilei, I know her moon sign. I know my moon sign, and I love to share some knowledge with you guys about the moon, because the moon is our inner nature. It's our emotional nature. It's our intuition. It's where we find comfort, stability, emotional fulfillment. And the moon sign really helps you heal. I say even more powerful than the sun. The moon is so important in our birth chart. A lot of people,
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there for just 1 sec. Sorry, because I want to shout everybody out here that's here. Also, remember, we got people listening from all over the world, and I didn't mean to embarrass you saying Lorilei. My name is spelled so strange. I always tell people, and Carmen knows this, but you know what? When you're reading it in the moment, same as with your bio, like I had it written down. I forgot to grab it, right?
No worries.
Just so you know, folks, her muggle job, she is a social worker. She uses astrology in that job. She does have to duck out a few minutes early tonight, but I'm going to hang with you right till the end, just so you know that. Also, what else do I want to say about you, Carmen? Oh, you know what I love about you? First of all, let's let people know what astrology is, kind of back up a bit, because we just don't have an astrology crowd here. There'll be people tuning in that have no clue what any of this is. But I will say, people that do what I do and you do, I find we either know what astrology is, but otherwise don't have a clue in the light worker field, or we absolutely love it and become so knowledgeable about it. And that would be yourself. But I have to say, Carmen, you were the first person I tell so many people about you, because the first time you were on with the 8th and 12th houses, and it was Fallen Angels, that book, I remember it. It was so profound. You were the first person that I actually understood what astrology was and why it's very useful and helpful. And I'll tell you, I had from Spirit, we really do not come here alone. Never mind our guides with the birth chart and the whole bit. So I'm going to back up. Just let me say hi to everybody, and then I'll let you take over, and you can tell people, because she's an incredible teacher. So we got Erica Mires here. Hey, beautiful. And like I said, I call her the crystal whore, and there's a reason why. Because I had a close friend of mine, Leanne Clark, on a few weeks ago, and I call her the crystal wizardress, because she's actually the crystal architect on Instagram and Facebook. And Erica was telling us all about them, and then she popped into the chat on the Thursday night. I always forget to say this, guys. You know, I also co-host on the network with The Thing at the Foot of the Bed with my good friend David Hansel. Well, Erica was there. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't remember who you are. She goes, I was the crystal whore from Monday night. So I told her I'm always going to call her that. I'll never forget her. We've got Michelle Pratt here from Australia. Welcome. We've got Haffern Paranormal. Hey, Robin. He's here from the UK. Zachman, he's in the US. And I think we got everybody. So Erica's, she's already putting up what she's got to say here. So I'm going to stop talking. If you want to let them sort of know what astrology is, why we need it, and so on.
Yeah. So what astrology is, it's energy. And so just like anything is energy, the moon affects the tides of the ocean. Our body's made up of mostly water. Astrology is a science, and it works, and it's very accurate. And what you need to be able to calculate your what we call a natal chart or birth chart is you need to know what month, day, and year you're born. You need to know your exact time of birth, AM or PM, because that's so important, and I'll explain why, and your city, state, country of birth. You need those things. You can go you can go to my website. I got a new free gift thing going on where I just had my website.
I took advantage.
Yay! And it's working. You can go to www.carmenturner-schott, SCHOTT.com. And when you visit my website, there'll be a pop-up for you to put your birth information in, and I will get an email, and I will email you a free report and your birth chart wheel. And I'm going to explain a little bit about what that is. So if you do that now, that would be cool, because then
I could probably put mine up here. Is there really?
Yeah, if you want to show yours, we can do that. And let's pull.
Can I add something? Because this is what I also tell people about about Carmen and how incredible she is you know what you said that really made sense to me about astrology and why you need this information. It was basically, it's like at that exact moment when you were born, it's a snapshot of all the constellations and everything in the sky. It's almost like a map, if you will. Plus, the other thing I need to tell you guys off air, and I'm getting goosebumps, not cold in here. I'm actually got a sunburn. But you said to me, and I never told you this, I sent you a bunch of information that you needed to kind of plot my birth chart just very quickly. And you messaged me back about 10 minutes later and you said, is that your exact birth time? And I said, oh my God, I forgot to mention, I don't know. And you said, could it be a half hour either way? And I said, yes. That's how incredible this lady is and how accurate. I did not tell her that. So I had to add that. Let me upload that while you're talking.
Yeah, upload. So what happens is on your day, month, year, time of birth, all of the planets are in a certain star constellation in the sky, which we call the signs. And there's 12 signs, 12 star constellations, which, we'll talk about a little bit. And then there's like 10 main planets. So when you're born, it's like all of the planets are in a certain sign and they're in a certain area of the sky, which astrologers break the sky into 12 sections. So if you think if you're on Earth and you're looking up at the sky when you're born, there's 12 sections. There's a wheel and like a pie. Just think of it like a pie. You cut. And the planets are in a certain house, in a certain astrological sign when you're born. And those energies are influencing each other as well when you're born. We call those aspects, which I'm not going to get into that, but that's energy. Just think of it as energy going on between the moon and Neptune and in the sky. And what we do is we take a picture of that sky on the moment, time, place of your birth, and we put that on a piece of paper. And that's what this wheel is that I'm talking about.
I'm uploading it.
Yes, I'll show you and I'll explain. In astrology, the 3 top things to know are your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. And so it's very important because those 3 are your main personality. And that's just the basics. You could spend lifetimes studying astrology. I'm still learning stuff too. I love it because I'm always learning something new. I feel like you're never mastering it because there's so many cool things to learn. There's medical astrology, relocation, where should you live, where's best for you based on your birth chart. But you want to start with getting your basic birth chart, which you can get through my website, and read a little bit about your main personality and your main identity and get that validation there. And the reason astrology is important is that it shows your destiny. It shows what your soul came here to learn. And it shows all of your strengths. It shows how you heal, how you can transform and be resilient. It shows me where you might have some struggles, whether that's the marriage and relationship house of the chart or the health area, career, money, finance. All 12 houses rule different issues in our life. And whatever planets are there, that's how we analyze, how you're going to be impacted in that area of life based on your birth date, month and year and place and everything. So it's a unique map of your soul. That's what I call it. Even twins have a different chart if they're born within 2 hours. Like it can change. For instance, the moon sign. Okay, let me rewind. The sun. We know that anyone born, on August 26th is going to be a Virgo. Okay, everyone in the whole world that's born on that day is going to be a Virgo. Now, if you're born, the time is what changes things. So if you're born in the morning, you're born at night, the moon sign actually moves through each of those 12 zodiac signs every 2 to 3 days, where the sun stays in each zodiac sign for a whole month. Okay, so we know the dates that, if you're a Leo, if you're an Aries, we know the dates that you have to be born on that date and month to be that sign. But the moon sign changes based on your time and place. So the time is critical because if twins are born like 5 hours apart, like maybe one twin's born early and the next one, maybe there was a C-section. The moon sign, I've seen lots of twins charts the moon sign shifts into another sign. So one twin is a Leo moon, the other twin is a Cancer moon or a Virgo moon. It can change things so greatly. Their emotional natures will be different. I've met twins that looked exactly alike, but emotionally they were very different. They had a lot of the same chart, they will, because they're born, pretty much at the same time, but that time
Oh, sorry, that was me. I messed this up. We're still here. I'm trying to figure out how to put that picture up there, guys.
I know.
Because if I do it this way, we'll try it. There's my birth chart.
Oh yeah, that's cool. They can see how it's a wheel.
But we're behind it. I wonder if we could do this. Let's see if we could try and do this. I'm trying to put us off to this. Yeah, it's not letting us. I'll figure it out while you're talking. Go ahead, hon. Okay.
Yeah. So as you can see back there, it's like a picture of the sky put on a map. And the sun sign is known as our main identity, our main personality. It's how we show the world who we are. And the
I'm
moon
still here if you can't see me. So
yeah. And the moon sign, I can see it. The moon sign is like our emotional nature. It is it's who we are inside, and we hide that because it's our vulnerable side. So typically people have to really know and get to know you, and you have to trust them to show your emotional side, which is your moon. And the moon represents the mother in our life, in our birth chart. So when we look at the moon, we can see how our mother's personality might have been, or how we perceived our mother based on what sign and house it's in. And that was our perception of the mother. We may have felt our mother was cold or detached, even though maybe our mother never felt that they were that way with us. We may have perceived it or felt that energy from them.
I'm dying to see what you pick up about my mother.
Well, your moon is Taurus.
My daddy's a Taurus. I know that has nothing to do quite with, but you're saying
your sun moon flips. So that tells me that you probably got along very well with your dad.
I did.
More than the mother, possibly, because
absolutely 100%.
Yes, because when I say someone's sun moon flip, let me explain. So in the sky, every sign has a polar opposite, which opposes it in the sky. Okay. And this is astronomy. This is astronomy. I mean, and so every, Virgo, for instance, its polar opposite is Pisces. So they're always opposed. Aries and Libra are always opposed. Taurus and Scorpio are always opposed. Gemini and Sag are always opposed. And, Capricorn and Cancer. So polar opposites, when you hear that word in astrology, people think that means you're very different because you think of polar. It actually means you're very compatible, because polar opposite signs share the compatible elements. So fire, air, earth, and water, right? In nature. Right. All signs are ruled by a certain element. So get this, all water signs and earth signs always oppose each other in the sky. All fire and air signs always oppose each other in the sky.
Okay.
And if you think about it, those are compatible elements in nature. Water and earth is compatible because water flows on the earth and the earth supports it. Fire, air helps fire grow. And then if you think about if you put water on fire, what's it do? It puts it out. And so
that's true.
Yeah. So if think about it like that with compatibility. So everyone has that polar opposite sign in the sky that you share similar health issues, similar vulnerabilities. It's kind of a continuum. Like if you're a Virgo, you're going to have a little Pisces in you too. If you're a Pisces sun sign, you're going to have a little bit of Virgo traits. And so it's good to read about both your polar opposite sign and your sun sign, so you can really know where you're at on that continuum. And so if you're a Taurus, Taurus sun, he's a Taurus sun, you're a Taurus moon. So outwardly, his main personality was a Taurus. Inwardly, your emotional nature's Taurus. So he understands you and you understand him, and it's very peaceful, very compatible, just kind of easy.
Yeah, it is, and we're similar in personality, very similar.
Easy to get along. And Tauruses have a very calming energy, and that's why you probably are an excellent nurse, because in helping people, because in a crisis you can stay calm.
Yeah, actually, people used to say that to me. They used to say, how are you being so calm?
because you're Earth moon. You're an Earth moon. You're grounded in the earth. You're very, very, it's a sturdy, Taurus has a very practical energy that's very calming and very soothing. And it's also very strong energy. So, little bits, self-determined. And when you make your mind up, strong-willed and a little stubborn. Tauruses are known to be a little stubborn.
Well, I'm a Leo, though. My dad's a Taurus.
Your sun, your moon is Taurus.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So emotionally, you got Taurus traits. Okay. Emotionally. But your sun sign's Leo, so that's fire. So you're a fire sun and a earth moon, which is complete opposite elements. So sometimes that is a little more difficult to balance. You know what I mean? The fire and your earthy, because you like to feel comfort and stability and security, and you like food and you like cozy things.
I don't like food. I used to like food. I will swear to you, I'm lucky if I eat once a day. I always say, and people don't believe me. And then I stayed with a close friend of mine, and she was eating all the time. She said to me, "You really don't eat?" And I said, "No, I don't." And she said, "If I ate like you, would be a size 0." I said, "I know, it's not fair." I'm trying to see if we can do this. We're going to play with this, guys. Okay. Sorry, I'm listening to you. Hi, Sandra. Welcome. So glad to. So I think Sandra knows a little bit about astrology too.
So Erica, you're a Libra. You're a Libra moon. Libra moon's an air moon. Mm-hmm. So Libra, your Aquarius sun, Libra moon, Taurus rising. So you have a lot of different energy. You have air and you have a little bit of earth, but a Libra moon typically, in my book I talk about they feel connected to other. They're the sign of partnership. So emotionally, you like having a partner or someone to love and spend time with. Libra rules marriage, and also the peacemaker.
I'm a bad picker of partners, though, so I've made a decision.
Well, I need to look at your chart and see what's going on there. I'll be able to tell you what's happening.
Okay, because I've decided that after this, I'm getting too old for this. I'm 58, and I seem to attract emotionally unavailable people, and they're broken, and that's been my problem my whole life. And so
I need to see what's going on.
I'm just trying to get this upload. I think all you have to do is send it to Dropbox so we can share it, and then I'll log into Dropbox.
Yeah, see, Erica, your Aquarius sun makes you want freedom and independence and a little bit rebellious. You don't want to be tied down. That's your main identity. But then your emotional nature is the sign of wanting a partner and wanting to have a relationship and someone to rely on. Aquarius is independent and doesn't want to rely on anyone. And so you have this pull, and that Taurus rising is what gives you that committed. Yeah, I can see you've been in it for 20 years married, because Taurus risings, typically Taurus earth signs like to be married, like more traditional. But you have this Aquarius and Libra air energy. So you need someone that that can talk with you and share ideas and things like that, and do things together, that similar interests, things like that. But yeah, you do have a lot of different energies going on. I'd have to see your whole chart, but that's the basics.
Do you think part of this too, though, Carmen? Like, I know how perfect it can be with astrology, but also when we're in the light worker field, that we almost tend to attract these kind of people. Because I meet a lot of people in the light worker field, especially women.
Yes.
That it just doesn't seem to work out that well. I don't know if it's because we've changed or what it is. I don't know how well we're going to be able to see this, but we're going to try this. Okay, guys. Sorry, I'm playing around here. We're going to do present. Let me see if we can do this. Glad I can get between Sherry-Anna, or Sherry that was on here, because that's how I met Sherry, was from you when you guys were live. Yeah. And she's going, you've got to feel the emotion to manifest things. And she's talking, and I still wasn't quite understanding. So I said, let's use an example. We've got Joan, who needs a new car. And as I'm describing this, I kept saying, I said, oh, the heck with it. I need a new car. And so she took me through the whole process. I went, God, guys, I don't hide anything from you guys anymore. I show you everything.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think astrology is energy, and that's why it works. That's why, energy and emotions, all these things are connected. And also, people that are intuitive, that are empathic, what it is
We can
we are.
share this, by the way. We're not going to be able to see it well, but we
Oh
can
no, that's
share it.
good. We're a lot of us are kind, and I know my issue was I had to learn to have boundaries, stronger boundaries.
Oh my God, that's my life lesson, boundaries.
Yeah, and after getting hurt many, many times or used or taken advantage of, or just feel like people, hurt me, narcissist or whatever,
Yeah.
even, fake friends, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm getting older, and now that I'm older, I'm getting to be wiser, and I'm actually able to say no and to protect my energy more and
You know
be able
what's beautiful? Sorry, I didn't mean to stop you there, but I
to.
want to say something I think is important, Carmen, by us talking about these personal things. So thank you for all of you in the chat that are sharing these
Yes.
personal details. You can really see how astrology can really show you the roadmap, right? And where the issues are, and the explanation for why we're attracting who we are and how we can actually improve life, right? Because it's kind of like a birth plan. It's like a plan up there why we're here, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. So see, when I'm looking at yours right now, so you guys can see how this is your wheel. This is a picture of the sky when she was born. This is her map of the soul.
I'm trying to
And
make it bigger for you guys and get rid of this piece here.
it
Sorry.
looks good. No, it looks good on my end.
Does it? Okay. So
Yeah, I
people
can
can
see it.
see.
Yeah. And you can see the houses are numbered. The houses are the areas of the solar system.
Tell
And
me if you need me to move it up or down to Carmen. Sorry, I went too far. Sorry, let me go down a little bit. Tell me where you need me to move and I'll move it. I'm on the other page.
back like you were, it was fine up there.
Okay,
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, keep going. There we
Okay.
go. There we go.
Okay.
That's good. And so if you look, they're numbered. So there's 12 signs, there's 12 houses,
Mm-hmm.
and each house is ruled by one of the signs. And an easy way to think about it is this: Aries starts the zodiac. So
Mm-hmm.
Aries rules the first house.
Interesting.
Taurus rules the second. Gemini rules the third. Cancer rules the fourth. Leo rules the fifth. Virgo rules the sixth. Six signs Virgo. Seventh is Libra. Eighth is Scorpio. Ninth is Sagittarius. 10th is Capricorn. And 11th is Aquarius. And then the last house, the 12th, my favorite house, it's ruled by Pisces. And
Mm-hmm.
so the energy of those signs rule those houses. Okay. So for instance, so you have to, the energy of the houses is more important than the planet placement in the sign. So for instance, Laura, she's got Sun in the first house. It's
Okay.
in Leo, so she knows that. She knows what that means. But Leo isn't. It's a little bit changed being in the first house, and you got Mercury there, and Mercury's in Virgo. I got Mercury in Virgo, and I got Venus in Virgo, just like you. We got
My
the.
time isn't exact though. That's the time I gave you when you figured out it might be a half hour away. So
Yeah.
it's a guesstimate. It was 5:00. It was like 5 a.m. something. Like
So
I'm
base.
not sure the exact
I'm
moment.
just gonna say right now, this isn't accurate, because if I had to guess, your Sun is in the 12th house.
That's what you said. Yes. You guys have to watch that first episode. You know, I never push it, but I am telling you. And the reason why I was so fascinated to have Carmen on, I wanted to know how we could have fallen angels and astrology fall in together with the title of her book. And when you hear this, between the 8th and the 12th houses that she's talking about, it is incredible. I am telling you. So look for it. You can find it on my YouTube channel or just search for it. Sorry, Carmen, I had to throw that in there.
I think, based on what you just told me, the Sun in the 12th house attracts people that have problems. I have the Sun in the 12th house. That's where mine is. That a lot of 12th house people, is what I call them, they lack boundaries between themselves and others. They
Absolutely.
see people as they want to see them. They don't always see the bad. They always see the good. They're compassionate, they're kind,
Yeah.
they're givers. So people are drawn to people. People that are takers are drawn to givers. This is just the way the world is, it seems. And so we have to learn
Yeah.
to be more cautious about who we trust. and to protect our own energy, because our energy is wide open when you have 12th house planets.
And
Because
learn how to say no
yes,
without feeling guilty.
yes, and to cut toxic people out of your life. It doesn't mean you can't be kind to them, but gently say, I just I can't have the negativity. I wish you the best, but being able to really choose and pick who's in your life, and to let go of people that just drain you and take and make you feel bad. Who wants to be hanging around people that abuse you and make you feel bad or control you and things like that? And the problem is, people that are wounded are drawn to empaths, so they're drawn because they need healing. And
I gotta ask you a question. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I want to ask. So I have been around people with alcohol and drug issues my whole life, on the maternal side, especially, not on my dad's side, professionally and personally. Even I don't have these issues myself, but they're around me now. Would an astrology chart show why? Like, is there something within the maternal line that possibly, or is there something else?
See it. I can see it. I'm gonna tell you what it is right now.
I knew you would.
Because I think your chart is just slightly off. So
yeah, it is off. Yeah.
It's going to just move things to the left a bit, which would move the sun into the 12th. And that means, look down here, Neptune. Okay. Neptune's in your 4th house. Look for number 4. That's the planet of addiction. That's the planet of alcoholism and substance abuse and escapism. It's in your house of home and family. It's in the house of the mother, the 4th. So whenever Neptune is in someone's 4th house, they typically have a parent that might have struggled with some type of alcohol addiction.
Absolutely.
And in the home life, it happened in the home. And so you could become a codependent type of home environment where you were the caretaker, like you were the parent to the
I am.
You weren't the child. You didn't get to really be a child. You had to be responsible.
And I still am like somebody's mother.
Yeah. So this is Neptune in the 4th, how I see that. And when I meet people, I'll say, did you have a parent that had an addiction? Almost 98% of the time, yes, when Neptune is in the 4th. Because the 4th is home and family. It's the house of Cancer. It's our roots. It's our childhood. It's what we went through in childhood. And it's our home that we create when we get older. So also, there's a good side of Neptune too, though. It's the planet of spirituality. And it's a planet of, oneness with God and artistic abilities and creativity and imagination. And
I'm all those,
you have all that, and you're doing this show, you work from home in a way. And so this is Neptune. You're doing spiritual work in your home. Okay. And so that can manifest as well, and doing your hobbies and things you like in your home.
That's how I connect to spirit, especially I don't sleep much. So when it's quiet at night, that's when I do my meditations. That's when I have communication with spirit. That's when spirit teaches. We have classes. We do all kinds of things, because while I'm creative, it just seems to help. Can I ask you another thing? And again, guys, you feel free to ask too, please. Somebody said they signed up already and they said, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will tell you the birth chart she sent me. I just found it about 45 minutes before, and I saw you said we were going to talk about it. You knew I'd be open to that. Guys, it's not a one-page thing. It's got 27 pages. So I welcome you to sign up. You will not be sorry. She is amazing. Now, what I wanted to say with this 4th house here. So do you see this as well? What I did from the childhood I had, and I don't talk about it often because it's not because I don't feel like I'm worthy of people's pity. I've been told this before. It's that I feel it serves no purpose, because I feel that we should embrace it all because it makes us who we are. But instead of repeating that pattern, it taught me exactly not what to do as a parent. So I flipped it, if you will, or do you see it usually repeats what we pick up as a child?
No, you definitely can change you have the free will and choice. That's what I like about astrology is, it's the energy, and like Edgar Casey said, astrology is fact, but there's no greater power than man than his own will. So when you learn these lessons from childhood, we have the ability to overcome some of the energies, more of the negative energies in the chart that might impact us. That's why I like catching people when they're young, to do their chart, so I can, warn them or prepare them, hey, maybe get married a little bit later in life. Wait till you really get to know yourself. So there's things that can be prevented in astrology. If you do a birth chart and I catch someone young enough, because it helps them know about themselves, and then they can avoid some of those things. But some people that don't know astrology, they have certain planets and placements. They might, like Pluto in the seventh, or Uranus there. I often say, be careful who you marry and when, and be very cautious, because it's a lot of, wounds and upheaval in the relationship house, right? Seventh house. But, the home house, Neptune there, what helps you is you have part of fortune. See that little circle with an X in it in your fourth house?
Yeah.
That's a place that we don't always talk about, but there's books on it. But that's like where you can use your learning in past lifetimes to heal and break patterns and to let go of things. And so that tells me that you changed your home life with your son and your family, your own family, because it's our childhood, it's our current home and our future home. The fourth house, it's your domicile, and you need that to be a very safe place. So you've made it a spiritual environment for your family, for your son and your children, and because of what you went through, and so it's not.
I never pushed it though. When our children, and you're a mom, so you would know this too. Yeah. When things have come up with both of my boys, I always say are very unusual boys. Yes. My eldest is part of the LGBTQ community. He is a Cancer, and both my boys are born on the 14th of the month, which is interesting. I'm born on the 15th, so he's July 14th. And he is a true Cancer. But when he was little, he would say certain things like I always knew he could communicate with animals and was very intuitive, right? And there'd be a lot of things that would come up. So I never pushed it, but I always supported it and let him guide it and ask questions. The same even with my son with the autism. Even though he has some communication issues, he's still... and I won't say this with any disrespect. He's like that precocious age of a 5 to 7 year old.
Sure.
That was interesting. That noise scared me. He's got questions and things like that, right? So, but both my boys can communicate with animals and things like that. But where I'm going with this is, I think we're seeing almost a new breed of children coming through. Yes. Extremely sensitive, extremely intuitive. And you know what, when you just said that these charts, you wish you could use them with children that are not children but young people, younger, I think it would have been so helpful. Like, I really hate labeling our kids like millennials and Gen this and Gen that, because we see a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression in that age group. My kids would be in that millennial age. I hate the label, like I said, but I think it's because they're so intuitive and they're so sensitive. Like, just imagine if kids had started out with a chart like this and parents were educated, right, with it.
It's amazing. Yeah, it can change things. I've helped some parents understand their kids, when they had issues. Like, an example is, there was a friend of mine who wanted me to talk to her friend's son. He was obsessed with death. He was drawing, tombstones and cemeteries at school. And he kept saying he was seeing his grandfather at the foot of his bed. His grandfather had passed away. And this little guy had all 8th house planets. When I did his
chart, knew you were going to say it. I knew it, because I'm telling you, I am starting to pick up people in the 8th houses.
Yes.
You guys have to, and again, I never do this. You guys have to, I'll try and post the link to it. Watch the first, I'm getting goosebumps again. Like, you really, I love all my guests, but there's not a lot of guests that make a really profound impact on me. And you were one of those guests because of what you said the first time I met you. Because I don't meet most of my guests till 2 minutes before they come on this show.
Sure.
So I go ahead with the 8th house so people understand how you can pick this out.
Yeah. So the 8th house is the house of death and rebirth and grief and loss and trauma and sexuality. Anything taboo, psychic abilities, very powerful, intense energy, because the sign Scorpio rules the 8th house, that number 8 there in our chart. And so having planets there, typically there's the loss of a loved one at a young age. Mm-hmm. And that's, through my research, I found like 98% of the time, happened to me. You know, I've got the moon and Jupiter and Chiron conjunct in my 8th house. And I lost a friend at the age of 16 from an accidental shooting. And I've lost a lot of people in very traumatic ways. And that's just my chart. That's how it plays out for me. But that is the 8th and 12th houses are similar energy. People have feel like they're not from here. They're not from Earth. I call 12th house people, which are also Pisces people that have a lot of Pisces energy, angels, and Scorpio people that have like sun, moon, a lot of Scorpio or 8th house are phoenixes, because they have a lot of change and upheaval in their lives, and they have to be reborn and rise out of the ashes to survive and heal. You know, it's the house of healing, the 8th house, and the house of helping others heal. So typically they go, most people I meet are into, you know, counseling, nursing, psychology, energy work, Reiki, you know, all these things, because they are the wounded healer. They help other people heal through the same things they've been through, right? And so, but I want to rewind because some my intuition's coming at me right now to share some about your chart.
Okay.
So when you were talking earlier about the relationships, how you've had issues with there, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is.
Okay.
And this is something I don't think I've ever talked about with you before, is the nodes of the moon.
Oh, no, you haven't.
So this is pretty cool because I am writing a book about the nodes of the moon, and it's coming out next year. And
you are just prolific.
I just got time on my hands. My kids, I got empty nest. She's going off to college. So I have all this time, right?
I was thinking about you today about that. Her daughter's so beautiful.
Thank you. So, you know, I'm a only child, and I got, you know, on the weekend and nights, you know, I spend time doing my hobbies, which is astrology. I love this stuff and writing. And so the nodes, if you look at her wheel here, that upside down looking horseshoe thing there that's in the 3rd house, that is the south node, is what we call it in astrology. And it's a calculation that we do. And the south node for you is Libra. The north node, which is opposite house, 9th house, is in Aries. This is what this means. Remember what I said earlier about Libras?
Right.
They rule marriage and partnership and relationships. In past lifetimes, when you look at the node, the south node is where what you've mastered in past lifetimes.
Okay.
What you've already done.
Okay.
And it's where you have karmic learning, right?
Right.
And then the north node in Aries is where you're moving towards, what you're meant to do. So let me share with you what your nodes
I'm not typing. I'm going to get glued to this, guys. And you guys can share stuff too. You know, we'll talk about, we want to talk about her book. We're going to save some time. And she's done it a few minutes early, but she's done this every single show. You guys will be amazed. Go ahead. Sorry, Carmen, go ahead.
So the south node in Libra tells me that you were someone that has many lifetimes where you have mastered having relationships. Your whole identity and who you were came through having a partner, being in love, having romance, having someone to depend on, someone that you could take care of, they could take care of you. You already mastered being an excellent communicator, compromising, and also kind of sacrificing yourself for your partner. You've already done that. But you come into this lifetime with those Libra South Node memories, and that's your soul. Deep in your soul, you're a Libra. Okay. And so that's why you like being in love. You like having a partner. But what happens is the South Node is where we're forced out of. And so when we're first born until the age of 27, we don't even know we don't even feel the node. We have no idea what energy is there. We go through what's called a Saturn return.
Okay.
And this is when the planet Saturn returns to where it was when you were born. It takes about 27 to 30 years to do so.
Interesting. Okay.
And this is an astrological cycle that we all know. And it's like, you know, it's based on ages. You know, there's in astrology that at different age periods, we go through different transits and different cycles. And the Saturn return is one of those. And that's the first time ever that we get knocked down or we get tested. And we start getting pulled towards our soul mission after the age of 30 for the first time, where you started feeling the Aries North Node energy. Before that, you were living as a Libra in that South Node, comfortable and cozy, because we don't want to give up what we've already feel comfortable doing, which is having a marriage and partnership. That's for you. So everyone has different nodes and different houses they're in. So I would have to see everyone's chart, but in your chart, that was who you were. And let me tell you what happens at age 27 to 30, typically with someone with these nodes. You either get married or divorced.
Married.
You have kids. You move. You go through all these. Everyone in the world goes through a Saturn return at the same age period, 27 to 30. But what it'll trigger for you, what triggered for you was the Libra energy, and this Aries energy started. You started getting more like, wait a minute, I'm making everything about my partner, everything about other people, and I don't like. And you didn't like conflict. You were a peacemaker. You would keep quiet just to please others. Libras like to please people. They like peace and harmony. They don't want conflict. They don't want to.
I'm still like that. I don't like conflict. I'm better about speaking up. I'm going to be 58, but it's taken years.
Yes. And you will see, this is cool because guess what?
What?
You're in your second Saturn return right now. Your second.
Really?
Yes, because it's been age 57 to 60 is your second Saturn return. So when this is over, you're going to be mastering, you're going to be in your Aries North node, which guess what Aries is? Independent, self-reliant, doesn't have a partner, doesn't want relationships.
What did I tell you? When this one's
finished,
I don't want another one.
You're not supposed to. You're meant. Let me rewind that. When you finally get to this point where you're at right now, this is why you're feeling this way, because you're in your second Saturn return. You're in your North Node Aries. When you get comfortable with that, and you're in the universe, you show the universe, you know what? I don't need a partner. That's when the universe is going to send you the perfect partner.
I hope so.
Because it is the nodes of relationship and the nodes of compromise and as an Aries North node, you're meant to be more selfish. Seriously, you're meant to say, what about me? What are they doing for me? What are these people giving to my life? What are these people helping me grow? I'm the one giving and helping all of them. So you want a relationship partner that can help you and fulfill you and help you grow, but allow you to have your independence and freedom. And that's where you're at. You're in your second Saturn return. So by the time you're 61, you're going to be mastering your soul mission. This is your soul mission, what you're going through right now.
Interesting. And you know what's really interesting I want to add? Oh, Michelle says she feels like she's missing something. I'll highlight that. And Erica Mears goes, I need Carmen.
Michelle, if you go on my website, www.carmenturnerschott.com, fill out the pop-up that comes up and I'll send you.
They've all done it in the chat now. And what they're doing is because I typed it from a YouTube channel so it wouldn't show up 8 times because I'm when you're the producer, everywhere we're streaming, it'll show up. So I've already typed it. We're going to make sure it's on the write up on here. We're going to repeat it lots. You guys, this is such a gift. So what Michelle was saying, feel like I'm missing something I have. So are you saying you're missing, you're not understanding? I think you do understand. I think you're saying you feel like you're missing something, maybe, Michelle? I think Michelle and I are almost birthday twins. She's in Australia, so we kind of are because she's 13 hours ahead. I'm August 15th. I think she's August 14th. We have another host here. I'm going to give a quick shout out to. We have Roger and Faye Garza. They have 2 shows on the network Wednesday nights. It's Latino Psychic. Please forgive me if I get it wrong, Roger. I'm going off the top of my head, and Faye. And then Saturdays, they have This Mug's for You, because he's asking about Libras. You guys popped in at the last minute. They're both born in 1950.
Nice. Yeah, Libra and Aquarius are both air signs, so very compatible. You know, air and air go good together, fire and fire, earth and earth, water and water. And then, of course, fire and air and earth and water signs go together, like we're talking about the polar opposites. But no, you're in your node.
You know what's so cool? That's where I was going with this, and I got a little waylaid with the comments. Is lately what's been coming up over the last couple of weeks, and I don't usually pay attention to other people's messages, but they're popping up in all kinds of different apps, in where was it, on Instagram, on TikTok, on you name it, LinkedIn, everywhere we're over the last probably week. You're due for that big change that you've been waiting to come, that you've been working on to manifest. And like, it's almost, I can see how these two are coming together. Like, and I'm not looking for it.
No.
They're not using the same words altogether, but it's pretty well the same message. So to me, when I've seen it 6-7 times in a short period, yeah, I'm meant to hear that.
you're in your Saturn return again right now. So 27 to 30, everyone has a Saturn return, and then 57 to 60, we all have a Saturn return. And then if you live long enough, my great grandmother had a third Saturn return. If you live old enough, you could have 3. But usually by the time we're through the second one, we are in our soul mission. The reason we came here, which in our chart is the North Node. And for you, get this, the 3rd and 9th houses are similar. They have to do with radio, teaching.
No way.
Yes, they do. They're the house of broadcasting, journalism, writing, publishing, all of those things, teaching. And so you are meant to, you're already good at communication, but you're meant to really formally, kind of write stuff, write it down, like
I have
you
3 books I'm working on, and I'm meeting with a publisher in the next week or 2, actually.
Good. Can
I answer this? Because Michelle, I know what she's asking. She says, as in your referral to being alone. No, I am not alone. No, the Dell and I have not broken up. But men or women typically outlive men. No, I'm not wishing his death, so you don't think that or anything like that. But there will come a time when probably I will be single, and I'll leave it at that. But we are still together. That's what she's asking.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys want to talk a little bit about the moon sign?
Yeah, in your book. Like, okay, so why did you write this book? Let's talk about it. I'm going to read Zach's comment. He said, I submitted my info on Carmen's website, looking forward to seeing what my chart says. And it comes very quickly, doesn't it? It comes pretty quickly.
So I recommend, I have the Sun Signs Houses and Healing book that came out last year. This is like the companion guide to that, because the sun, as we talked about, is our main identity, our main personality. My sun is in Virgo, but my moon is in Aries. So I have a very different emotional nature than my main personality, which the moon is really stronger. The moon placement is stronger than really our sun placement, even, because emotions are so powerful, as we know. So in this book, I talk about how to calculate your moon sign and all the basics of the symbols, what all these planet symbols are, what the houses mean, all of that in the intro. And then each chapter is dedicated to each moon sign. So I can go through, if you want, what the 12 sun signs and moon signs are, because there's 12 signs. So there's Aries, there's Taurus, Gemini. And if you look, let me see here.
This came in my book. I didn't even see it yet.
Oh, cool.
From Llewellyn. It's
nice.
Llewellyn. Mm-hmm.
So it's Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Those are the 12 signs. And so when you're born, the moon, every 2 to 3 days, the moon moves through the sky. So you're going to need to have a pretty close time of birth and and all the information that you send me on my website for me to really know.
So you're doing this up for people, right? Like, it's not like it's just going to be sent out, because people are going, I haven't got my confirmation email.
Oh, no. I'm
live right now.
Yeah, I'm live. It's going to take me a while to get back to you. I have to actually go into my program and do all that. It's not an automatic thing. I'm not that advanced with the technology to have my computer. I think you can't. I don't even know how to do that. Like, even
Carmen, what a gift that you're doing this, plugging it into your software for everybody that signs up. You ladies and gentlemen here, like, what a beautiful gift. Like I said, mine's 27 pages long. I can't wait to go through it.
Yeah. So when you email me and send me your stuff, I have a program that I have to go in and put everything, make sure it's right, save it, and then I email you everything. That's what'll happen. Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be your free gift. And
I'm going to put it up here on Dropbox, mine, so people can see kind of what it looks like, if that's okay while you're talking, Carmen.
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead.
And so Aries moon, we'll start with Aries. Aries, the moon sign is your strengths. It's how you heal. It's how you overcome. And Aries is known as the warrior. Aries is impulsive. They're known to have a little bit of a temper, a little bit, they get angry easily, right? They're passionate. They love a challenge. They love competition. They love excitement. They get bored easy. They're go-getters. They're high energy. Aries are, very romantic. They love the feeling of being in love, but commitment can be a little hard for them, right? But Aries moon people can use their anger to heal, because they get mad. They're like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm going to rise up from this, and I'm not going to let this get me down. They're very strong and courageous people. So if your moon is in Aries, you're emotionally going to be very resilient. Okay. And be able to overcome emotional pain and conflict and challenges a little bit more easily than other people. Okay. And then Taurus moons, like I told her, because your moon's Taurus, my moon's Aries. Taurus moons are very peaceful. They like nature. They like the flowers and the earth. They like very grounded, very they like comfort and stability. They like to feel cozy. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You like very cozy, kind of like cuddle with your animal, your pet, have a cozy blanket on. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Tauruses
in my little journals are all fuzzy.
Yeah. Tauruses are very practical and realistic and grounded too. Yeah. So Taurus moons have two natures. I find Taurus moons are either very artistic and creative. They have artistic abilities, writing, singing, art, painting, all those things, because they're ruled by Venus. Venus rules Taurus. So Venus is the planet of love and imagination and creativity and all this stuff. So they have this peaceful, very affectionate moon sign. Mm-hmm. They need affection, and not just sexuality. They do like sex too, typically, but they like.
Yes, they do.
They like to be held, cuddled, hold hands, hugs.
I'm not touchy-feely. And I think that has to do with being an empath. Like, I do not like to be touched. And even if I have a partner, I am not a PDA type of person out in public, especially.
Not in public.
Don't need to be hugged. And that's one thing I don't like for some reason. I never have.
Yeah. So it's important for them to, feel grounded. And change can be hard for Tauruses. So their thing is to let go of the past. Let go and forgive things, because they hold on to things. They hold on to the past. That's a Taurus thing. Mm-hmm. So releasing things is very freeing for them. So they need to release the past. Gemini moons need communication. Emotionally, they connect with you through talking. And they're very restless. They can multitask. They're very intelligent, but they like to be on the go, doing things, learning things, social, networking.
That's kind of characteristics of a Gemini, though, too, isn't it? Like, my partner is a Gemini, and I can see many of those characteristics in him as well.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Similar personality traits, exactly. It just will be the emotional side of you will be the Gemini, the emotional side. Erica, I have to look at your chart, because I would say that the house placement and aspects are going to play a role in that. Not just being a Libra moon. Libra, there's more to it than that. There's more in your chart, but I could see in your chart if there is something there with that. I can see that if I look.
I just put the address back up. Jody from Australia. Yeah. Hi, Jody. Having a chance to say hi to you. She goes, loving the show. What happens if you don't know your birth time and can't ask anyone?
Yes. So if you can't find it on your birth certificate or in your baby book, and you really don't have anyone, there is a way that astrologers, we use 12 noon to calculate the chart. And then what I do is I ask to see a photo of yourself, like how you physically look, because the rising sign is the sign that's on the horizon when we're born. And if I can get your rising sign accurate, which is how people perceive you when they first meet you, if I can narrow down what your rising sign is, I'll be able to get a pretty accurate chart for you.
Jody, I don't know if you heard this or not, but like I said, there's many. I love all my guests that I have on, and I stay in touch with most of them. But Carmen knocked me off my chair because the first time, like I said, I only meet most of my guests for 2 minutes before we start the show. And she was coming on to talk about her. I always forget the beginning of the title. Please fill it in, because I know the last part was Fallen Angels, and it was talking about the 8th and 12th houses. That's the link I put in there for the first show. What was the beginning of the title?
The mysteries of the 12th Astrological House, Fallen Angels.
Okay, so thank you. So the reason why, Jody, is I didn't know the exact birth time. And so I was chatting with Carmen afterwards, and she said, oh, if you want, I'd be happy to fill in a few, quick birth chart for you. So I sent her what I believed was the time for my birth, but I didn't say to her that it wasn't an exact time. It slipped my mind until she wrote me back and said, is that the correct birth time for you? Could it be moved either way, maybe about a half hour? And I never said a word to her about it. And she was absolutely right.
Yes. So I've had a lot of people, like I'm looking at your picture right now. I'm seeing some maybe Libra, Leo. I got to nail down. I can nail down different time zones to try to get to your rising sign. And then you'll be able to validate for me if I have the right chart for you. Because if what I'm telling you doesn't resonate or feel right, then we don't have the right chart. We don't have the right time. And that's how we know. It's very much energy. It's energy. It's our personality. So if it doesn't feel right, we have the time is off. But if you write me, I can kind of mess around with the time a little bit. And most of the planets are going to be in the right sign. It in the moon as well, but the houses will change where they're placed if I don't have an accurate time. That's what changed. I can tell you some basics that I know won't change during that day and year and place. But if the time's off, I can't get as in depth. Do
you want me to show the report while you're talking, just so people can sort of see what it'll look like?
Oh yeah, the printout. Yeah, if you go to my website, I have a pop-up, and I'll go, it might take me a day or two, but I'll send you this wheel here, and I'll send you a printout.
Okay, give me 1 sec. I'm going to do it again here. I've just learned how to do this. I'm having fun doing this, but it has to be on a web page, and I'll put the chart back up just so people can see. So share. Okay, let me go back here, and we'll do this. There we go. So do you want me just to scroll a little bit or anything, Carmen, so people can see?
Yeah, you can scroll a little and show them.
So that's the software you're using, right? The name.
Yeah, I have a couple different programs, but this is the one I use the most. It's on my Mac, and it's going to be very basic. If you had a full consultation with me or with an astrologer, we go into a lot in depth, very deep emotional reading for you. This is more for fun, like the surface level energy that'll analyze your different planets and see. This will tell you.
What does this mean a little bit? Would you mind going over this a little bit?
This is what's perfect, because if you have my book, the sun signs, or this book, you can see the moon for hers in Taurus, and guess what? It tells you what house the moon is in, 10th. Okay, but her time might be off, so hers isn't completely 1% accurate yet, but we're going to work on it. But you'll get this if you know your birth date, time, year, place. If you know it, this will be very accurate. It'll tell you the placement of the sun, all the planets, what sign they're in. We talked, there's 12 signs, there's 12 houses. It'll tell you what house that planet's in. And then when you read the report, it's going to analyze each of those things. The moon in Taurus, what that means. The moon in the 10th house, what that means. And the whole report's going to go over all this, okay? And then this position, don't worry about positions. That we use in astrology degrees. I'm not going to even get into that. It's confusing to everyone. So
that's why I was always lost about astrology. Like, honestly, and I know I keep saying this, Carmen, but you're the only, and I've told you this off air, you're the only person that started to make sense to me about what astrology was. Because you hear this house and then that house and then this moon, and then it's like, what the heck are you talking about? And you just have that knack for teaching.
Thank you. That's my mission, is I want to teach astrology on a basic level where anyone can understand it. They can pick up any of my books and they can understand and figure out how to do a chart,
Mhm.
what it all means in a basic, practical way. It's not, like normal astrology books. I don't write advanced astrology books. I'm writing for everyone that anyone can learn it. And that's my goal, because I love it and I want to make it really simple for anyone to like and understand. And I teach it to my friends and family, my coworkers. People now that are like, wow, I read about my moon. That's so me, right? And everything. So
Because honestly, I can't wait to get into this book. You know what I usually do? Are they going to be looking at putting your books on audio at all, or are some of them on audio already, like audiobooks?
yeah, they're not. They're not doing audiobooks on these. Now I do have my Mysteries of the Eighth Astrological House, Phoenix Rising. I have that book on audio. So
Okay.
if someone, if
I plug in. That's why lots of times
yeah,
because then I can multitask. Wait, I want to read this. So Erica says, Lorilei, please be careful sharing all your personal birth info. Not, excuse me, all witches have good intentions, and having a birth date is a strong tether. So when you get your accurate natal chart, maybe don't. Well, no, and it's not a secret.
yeah,
Like, we've talked about this many times, and you know what? I'm going to share something with you guys that I have gotten from Spirit. What you perceive becomes what you believe, and it becomes your reality. I have had much evil around me already, and I appreciate your advice, Erica. I don't know if you know my previous story of living in the house that I did, including apparently something demonic that gave me its name, the spelling. Sorry, I'm getting a little off track here. So I appreciate your advice, but I also try not to go to a place of fear. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is the reason why I believe that spells work, why, witchcraft may work and what have you, it's because it's the belief and it's the intention. My belief and my intention is that I am protected. Like, I'm not going to give you my phone number and my bank account and everything, but it's not a secret about.
yeah,
Go ahead, Carmen. I know you've got some. I'm picking
yeah,
it up. You're going to add to this, so thank you.
yeah. I think with energy, energy is everything. And I think the biggest thing is our thoughts and our what we believe can manifest in our reality. So
That's why Spirit gave me that. And
yeah,
I know they did. What we perceive becomes what we believe, and it
yes,
becomes our reality, because everything's
yes,
energy, right?
yes, and you got, and this is the cool thing that I learned the hard way, because I'm a Virgo, and I'm a thinker, and I overanalyze, and I
Yeah.
obsess, and I ruminate. And I realized this when my daughter was a baby. I'll never forget. She was laying in the crib in here, and when I first put her in the crib for the
I think
first
you
time,
told this story once,
yeah,
and I hear you.
she was in my bassinet right next to me before, and I could see her, and I could control it. I thought I had control, right? And so when I put her in here, I couldn't sleep. I was worried to death something was going to happen to her. She was going to stop breathing or get sick. And I laid there and I didn't sleep, and I was just making myself sick with my thoughts,
Mhm.
with my mind. And
Mhm.
then I remember it just came over me.
Mhm.
You have no control over this. And I'm like, yeah, the only thing I can control is my thoughts. That's the only thing. No one can control how we control how we react to people, but we control our mind and our thoughts. And that's the thing.
It's
No one
true.
can control our thoughts. Like we're, they don't even know what's going on in there. So
And you fake it till you make it. So even
yes,
though, like I always say as a mother, and I didn't have kids when I worked in the NICU and maternal newborn, and I used to, you'd have moms in their third day postpartum and their milk's coming in. Sorry, TMI probably for some of the guys out there maybe, and they're crying and they'd be saying, I read every book out there. Why is this happening? I used to say, because the baby didn't read the book, sweetie. It's okay. And I used to also say that we don't give birth to just a baby. We give birth to guilt as moms, right?
yes,
So we're
yes,
all focusing scared about this and worried and
yeah,
fretting, especially with our first or our
yeah,
only. But I think what you just said there, I wanted to add a little bit, is fake it till you make it. And what I'm saying is, and you can see all kinds of examples about this around the world through the ages of time, that when you don't believe it, but you keep repeating it over and over and over and over, there's a saying out there, you tell a lie long enough, it becomes the truth eventually. It's because, right, whether it's a collective or whether it's ourselves, we tell ourselves enough, and our
yeah,
brain, I hate calling it the monkey mind, you'll hear that in the
yeah,
spirituality sector, That's not who runs the show. So you
Yeah.
train that brain to see and hear that with adding, that's why affirmations work, right? So like you said, you figured it out. I only thing I can control is my thoughts. And I didn't mean to cut it off. I wanted to add that. So what did you end up doing to be able to make things settle a little bit for you?
I was just had to get peace. I'm like, I had to say, God, universe, I have to trust you to watch over and protect my child. And I had to let go and know that I don't have control if of her dying or not. I mean, it's not up to me. And so when that weight lifted off, and I just had to have faith and trust that she's going to be watched over. And then I let it go. And that's the thing with astrology. There's nothing to be afraid of with astrology. No matter who knows your time or not, it doesn't really matter, because your personality is your personality. It's not going to change. And there's nothing that anyone can do to make you a different person just by knowing your birth stuff. This is your soul map. This is who you are.
I love that soul map. I love that
soul map. And only you know all about yourself. And all an astrologer does is validate for you what you already know. You know, what I tell you is nothing. It's a science. It's not like I'm making stuff up, or I'm channeling something, or I'm doing tarot cards or what. No, this is energy. This is your psychological blueprint. Okay. This is like the map of your soul. So it's not going to change whether you believe in witchcraft or somebody. If people can be out again. I have a lot of people that don't like me. And I have a lot of negative.
I can't believe that.
I mean, well, you know what I learned? I did my first ad, okay, on Facebook for my book. And, you know, when you try to target people that are open to these interests, but Facebook does its own little algorithms, right?
Right.
And within 2 hours, I had 13 angry faces from my ad. I had 20 laughs. Oh, yeah. And so I had to I have a thicker skin now. The old me probably would have cried and had my feelings, but I thought, you know what? If they don't believe, they don't believe. And then what's funny is today, someone commented on my ad. I'm thinking, if you don't like my ad, scroll through. You know,
that's my thing. You know what? Why do people think it's an invitation to be hateful, hurtful, and create drama?
Well, get what? So this is the book, and I'm keeping it positive. And I think I've been studying this 25 years, and they think that just their comment telling me I'm wrong and astrology is not true and all this is going to change me. No, I know that astrology is accurate. I know that it's true. It was created by God and the universe. It's part of who we are. And so no one's going to convince me otherwise, because I've experienced it myself, and I've seen it help people and help so many people. So it's a tool that can help others. That's what I use it for, is to help people. And
and the people that you're meant to help, you will find and you will connect with, right? You will, because, but I have to say that, and I really do try to, I always say it's not my job to judge, nor do I know what people are going through when they do the crappy stuff that they do to others. But there's an anagram, and I've said it many times on the shows, or if I've done lives or whatever, and it's called think. And the letters stand for, is it thoughtful? Is it helpful? Is it intelligent? Is it needed? And is it kind? And if it's not, move along. You know, if you don't like something, that's not an invitation for you to jump. Not you. I mean, the global you, the trolley people that are out there, to jump in there and create all these awful things that people do.
It was crazy. And then there were some really mean comments. I had to block and delete them. And this was just an ad. This is just an ad. But you know what I realized? I'm not going to let them affect me or make me hateful or anger or upset or anything. I just let it roll off, because you know what? I can't, I'm not going to force my beliefs on someone. I know what I believe. I know what I know works. I'm not going to force it. But you know what? If I see an ad I don't agree with, I just scroll through. So, you know, treat others.
Or if somebody posts something that really kind of ruffles my feathers, I just kind of like, you know what? You're entitled to your opinion. Do that. But I just don't agree, and I carry on, or avoid the conversation if you're going to have a conversation.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And treat others as you want to be treated. The golden rule. That's all it's about. And I don't judge anyone. I'm very open-minded. I mean, to a lot of things and all beliefs and everything. So, you know, I'm about, let's help each other. Yeah. And I think, what do you say exactly that? Get that trigger. Yeah. Block and walk. Exactly, Ed, because I think, what I realize is that when you can be so nice and kind and compassionate and do everything to help people, and you still get people that will hate you or not like you for no reason. And that used to bother me a lot, being a 12th house sun, and an eighth houser, is that I want people to like me. And now I still do deep down, but I don't care as much. I'm like, I can't make them like me. I've been nothing but kind and nice. If they're gonna be nasty to me, I'm not gonna treat them nasty, but I'm gonna go ahead and just let it go. And
Well,
I'm gonna block them from my life and my energy,
you
protect
have
myself.
to.
Yeah, you have to do that with sometimes.
Because in the beginning, when I started going down this path that I'm in, the work that I'm doing now, I had a mentor that used to say, what other people think of me is none of my business. And I used to say, what do you mean it's none of my business? Of course it's my business. I don't want people, same thing, I want people to like me. I care what people think. Now I understand it. And I just had this conversation with somebody, I think they're still in the chat, I would never call them out or anything, but we were talking about the way people sometimes treat other people and, and what have you. But then I realized that we're all kind of on our own little path here, our own little journey. We're all here for different reasons, right? And I keep saying, if we could only just, treat one another with love and respect.
Yeah.
And the way, like you said, the golden rule. Imagine the different world that we would live in. But again, it's so cliche, but it really is true. Hurt people, right? We don't know what their story is.
Yeah.
But I keep thinking about it. I always say, don't feed the trolls if we get nasty people that are doing whatever. And I usually give them a warning. Like, unless they're being really spammy, I'll just say, listen, you're more than welcome to stay here. But that kind of language or whatever energy, whatever it is, it's not necessary here. But if it continues, I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave. But otherwise, we'd love to have you as part of the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. I think,
agree.
I think it is the mirror thing. And Zach, exactly. You just got to be positive and surround yourself with that. And I figure, and that's the thing. I know when you put yourself out there, you're going to be prone to some criticism, when you're on the radio, when you're doing ads, when you're on Facebook, you're going to attract people that may not believe, and they may be trolls. Yeah. And they may just be wanting to stir trouble. Social media can be, celebrities and everything, the things that have happened to them, just the horrible things people say. It hurts me when I see, it's like, why are people so mean? So, but yeah, I'm not letting it get to me. If they want to laugh at my ad, that's fine. I don't really care.
They're not meant to work with you. Well, I talk to people all day long, as I'm sure most of us do, that are doing this kind of stuff. Yeah. And I do want to give Howie a shout out. That's Ed Odell. He has the Riff Network, guys. He promotes UPRN, United Public Radio Network, or UFO Paranormal Radio Network. If you're just tuning in, you are listening to the Angel Rock. I'm your host, Lorilei Potvin. I'm here every Monday night live and Thursday nights live as well, 1 hour later, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the thing at the foot of the bed with my amazing co-host, David Hansel. And we have an audience fave here. This is her third visit to the Angel Rock. This is Carmen Turner-Schott, and we're talking about her new book, one of the new books. She's got another one coming out in July, so she's coming back soon, you guys. So I want to remind you, if you're just tuning in, please go to www.carmenturner-schott, and Schott is spelled S as in Sam, C as in cat, HOTT as in Tom.com, because I've got my birth chart up here so you guys can see it, and it's a freebie that she offers, and that's what we're talking about tonight if you're just tuning in. So make sure you check out Howie. I know he's under @Odell, but somebody, speaking of trolls, hacked his Facebook account and stole it, and is still trying to kind of pose as him on there. So that's why he's under ad. Oh, you've got Christy here? I don't know why you got Christy up here. You'll have to tell me why you wrote. I know who Christy is, but I don't know why you wrote that. So Faye added, well, actually, I'm going to say this with Carrie. I haven't seen you in a while, Carrie. I'm glad to have you here. And everybody here, actually. She said, what other people say reveals more about them than about who they are speaking of. That's true. Yeah. Absolutely. So,
well, you want to, in the last couple, time I have we got about 10 minutes before I got to get off.
Yeah.
Does anybody, you want to let them ask any questions in the chat about astrology or about the moon, or?
Love Christy. Yeah, do you guys have some questions? And I can't wait for your next book too. Is it Phoenix and Angels, you said?
Yeah, Phoenixes and Angels.
Ooh, I'm excited about that too.
And actually, I have a pic. I have it right here. Hold on. Here it is.
Oh,
Phoenixes and Angels.
Well, let's minus my birth. I want them to see it, so let's minus that.
Okay.
So, okay,
Phoenixes and Angels Mastering the 8th and 12th Astrological Houses. It comes out July 1st. It's pre-order right now on Amazon as well. And then this one's already live. And the Sun Signs book, Sun Signs Houses and Healing, is the companion guide to this. They go good together.
I'm not sure, Carrie, you're my birthday twin on here because I know Michelle Pratt, who is over in Australia. She's almost our birthday twin, but she's August 14th, but she's 12 to 13 hours ahead of us. It's Carrie. Carrie, you picked the perfect nick. Carrie is my birthday twin, August 15th. I'm positive. We did not know that. She happened to find my show. Right, Carrie? Because she said, Laura, are you Leo Moon too, like me? You're 1966. I'm 1965. So I wouldn't know.
The time, we'll need to know what time you're born, Carrie, in your place of birth. It might change the moon depending on what time you're born. You could have a Taurus. You could be the same moon sign as her, but it could, a day, every 2 to 3 days it changes. So it may have been moving into the next sign, but I can check if you go to my website and put your info in. I'll email you. When I get some time, I'll do everybody that submitted. I've been getting a lot of submissions. I just started it Saturday.
See? But you know what we do? It's human nature. And especially when we're very sensitive, we could get 1,000 positive things. And what do we focus on that one? It's not just one, but we do because it hurts. It really does.
Yeah. You can have 80 likes and then one person says, I don't believe in astrology, your book is crap, which I've had people say. And it's like, I focus on that. And my daughter's like, why do you care? And I'm like, because I'm a Virgo, I mean, it's a Virgo thing, some of it's our chart.
There's somebody I follow on YouTube and I adore her. And believe it or not, she's kind of gothy, but I love Halloween and she does Halloween stuff. And she goes Halloween hunting with Mr. Skeleton in her car. She's absolutely beautiful. But guess what the name of her channel is called? What? Jade the Libra, because she loves astrology. And her husband, Dallas, is a musician. They're an older couple to be new parents. And you'll see where I'm going with this. So Dallas apparently is a Libra too. And I never ask people why they don't have children. I had infertility issues and I just feel it's nobody's business. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be crass here for a second, because to me, when people ask, why don't you have kids? To me, that's like basically asking them, are you having sex? I'm sorry, but it is. And it's nobody's business. So what do they announce? What is it now, May? It was in October, beginning of November, right after Halloween, that they're having a baby. And she's in her late 30s. I hate what they refer to when you work in maternal, newborn, and labor and delivery and gynecology and obstetrics to geriatric mothers when you're pregnant after 35. Anyway, she just gave birth to this beautiful little boy. So she calls it the spooky fam. But the reason why I'm mentioning all this is because she's really into astrology. So she named her little boy Lucian. You have to see him. He doesn't actually fit the name. But what does she call him? I think it's Lucian the Gemini. I'm positive. So she's got everybody. Dallas is the Libra. Her channel is called Jade the Libra. And then now it's Lucian
the Gemini. Oh, that's cool.
You have to check. She's so goofy and funny and just beautiful. Like she's a model, actually. Not my style necessarily with some of the stuff. But when you see the pictures of her, you think completely different of what her personality is versus who she is on the channel. Hi, Ken. I want to read this comment here, Faye, or from Faye. She's one of our new hosts, Roger and Faye, like I mentioned, on Wednesdays and Saturdays with their new show. She goes, this has been fascinating and very informative. I know so little about astrology. I will be checking out your website and your books.
Thank you, Faye. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I got a couple more minutes. Does anyone want to put a question in the chat or anything?
What do you want them to ask? Like you asked about the moon, if there was anything, or do you want to do? I'm not telling you, but you want them maybe to put their birth date. I know. Remember, you did that the last couple of times you were on here. People put their birth date and time. Were you able to? Or did you need something else?
Probably don't have enough. Probably if you know your moon sign.
Okay.
put it in. If you don't, that's okay. If I don't get anybody putting in, we can talk about the full moon, a little bit about the moon cycles.
Why don't we talk about that while we're
okay.
waiting?
So we actually got a full moon coming up June 3rd. Okay, so it'll be a full moon in Sagittarius. So
Okay.
the big thing, as we talked about, the reason the moon rules our emotional nature, the moon rules the tides of the ocean, and it's going to affect us. So as a social worker, I think we talked about this as a nurse, working in police, police officers, during a full moon, more people have accidents. There's more domestic disturbances.
Oh my God.
There's more conflict.
Never had to look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always a full moon. And when I worked with runaway teens, I remember I started telling people at work, and they're like, "Oh, Carmen's goofy." But then they started noticing. I said, "We're going to be busy this weekend." So more of our teens would be at the police station. They would run away. They would get in trouble, and we get called out in the night. And it was always a full moon, right? And that's because the moon rules our emotions. And so during a full moon, all of us are going to feel heightened. We're going to feel more sensitive. We may, have insomnia, sleep problems. We might be energized, or we may just feel kind of irritable. It affects us in a different way. So in my book, once you calculate your moon sign, which in the intro, I'll tell you how to do that, you'll be able to know what moon sign you are. You'll be able to look it up. And I give a tip for each moon sign, how they handle the full moon. What things can help them during a full moon, like an Aries moon. What helps an Aries moon during a full moon? What helps a Taurus moon, a Gemini moon? I talk about that in each chapter. And I give you self-care tips, different tips, because the full moon will affect everyone a little differently, depending on what sign the moon is in, right? Your energy. So for me, I don't sleep well and during a full moon, and I'm restless, and I'm more irritable, just kind of, I don't really want to talk to people as much, and that's not me. I usually love to talk. So I'm more introverted, more withdrawn during a full moon. Mm-hmm. And then what's cool is I recommend, get a calendar where you can see where the moon, when the moon is full, what sign it's in, because knowing what sign it's in is going to affect you too. So you'll know, oh, when the moon's in Sagittarius, I feel like I want to travel, which, Sagittarius rules travel. I'm more optimistic. I'm more friendly. I'm more social. I have more energy. Or if the moon's in Scorpio, you might feel more angry or tense and intense, and, might lash out a little bit easier. You'll start to see how each moon sign affects you in your own life based on your moon sign. So it's different for everyone. So I just want to say that it's not going to be across the board. But right now, when we say the moon is full in Sagittarius on June 3rd, that means it's affecting the whole world. It's affecting all of us. And the full moon is in the sign, in the sky, in the star constellation of Sagittarius. And it, like we talked about, it moves through each sign every 2 to 3 days. And so, and then we have what's called a new moon. And a new moon is very important. That's when you're supposed to, come up with intentions and goals and positive new energy. And typically when the full moon comes is when you get into manifesting what you were thinking about during the new moon. It comes about the next month during the full moon, it manifests itself. So it's really about manifesting positive energy and healing. And it's a time to reflect. When the moon is full, I find it's a good time to reflect on your emotions and connect with what you're feeling.
We have a question for you. I didn't want to cut you off before you pop off. So this is from Erica, and Janie's here. Hi, Jane. She was saying they never needed to know when check the calendar. Neither did we as a nurse. She said when she worked with the as a clerk in the ER in the veteran Virginia hospital, I think. So Erica says, Carmen, with Pluto, and she's got in brackets the slow moving planet now in Aquarius, again in brackets my sun sign, does that mean I'm going to be dealing with massive changes and transformations? And then she said, as Pluto is known for.
Well, I have to see what house Pluto is in your transiting in your birth chart. Okay, transit chart is a whole different thing, but I will say Pluto is the planet of rebirth, death, resurrection, regeneration, healing, and wherever Pluto is in your birth chart, whatever sign it's in, whatever house it's in, that's the area of life that we have a wound, and the wound's typically from childhood. And so we get to heal that wound as we get older, and then we become, we heal. We always do. But we have a little bit of an issue in that area of life, typically wherever Pluto is. And so with Pluto, is a generational thing you're talking about. So these outer planets, guys, it takes them years to move through the sky. So the last time that Pluto, the planet Pluto, which is the planet that was discovered during when nuclear power was discovered. That's why it's associated with Scorpio and intensity and control and power and secrets and all this intense energy, right? Pluto has not been in the sign Aquarius since the 1800s. So that's how long it's taken it to come back to go into the star constellation of Aquarius in the sky, and this is what we call a big a historic event. I mean, it's going to affect everyone, Erica, everyone. It is affecting everyone on Earth. And then so it is massive changes. It's rebirth. It's a birth into technology and innovation. It's changing how we communicate and do business. So if you look at look at the telework thing. Everybody wants to remote and work remote and look at the upheaval going on the news. Every time I open up the internet, companies making everyone remote workers return, right? And everyone's an uprising about having to come back to the office. That's what Pluto and Aquarius is doing in the world right now. It's shaking up a lot of things, right? And I'll have to see where it's at in your birth chart to really see how it affects you. And then where is it transiting your birth chart, which means, you put a map of the sky on top of your natal chart, and I can see what is going on in all areas of your life. And that's more of an energy thing where I can say, okay, you're going to move. You might change your job. That's where astrologers look at more prediction and seeing what's affecting you is your transit chart. But no, I don't think it's a bad thing. Actually, you might not be affected as negatively as some, is my opinion. If you already, have Aquarius energy, you might feel like more at home with it, really, and you might actually heal. But the thing with Pluto is it's going to bring up old wounds for all of us. Pluto, kind of like Pandora's box, it kind of brings things out of the shadows into the light, is the way I and it makes you see things and see the issues that you maybe were hiding or not aware of, that were hidden from you. It exposes things. Pluto exposes things. If you look in the news, people getting convicted of things, or they find out, there was a priest that had been abusing children.
That's happening a lot lately.
That's Pluto energy, sexuality, secrets, power, abuse of authority. All of that is Pluto energy.
That seems to be rising to the surface, though, in the last year, especially, and the year before that. I have one question for you, and I know you're going to go. So just quickly. So do you believe possibly that that's what Nostradamus used, was astrology to make a lot of his predictions?
He was an astrologer. Yes. He was an astrologer.
He's not a scary guy. Like, I've been going through, like I said, I like to listen to audiobooks. So I have been turning on, and I realize that it doesn't mean it's a be all to the end all. But Dolores Cannon, the late Dolores Cannon, as she was transcribing the quatrains, as he called them, what he really meant by them, rather than all this gloom and doom, right? So, and I remember him talking about the position of, the stars and the moon and the planets and everything all in the sky. So that's why I wanted to ask you. So he was an astrologist.
Did you see that movie about him years ago? He was a doctor. He was a physician. And that's how astrology started. Actually, Hippocrates said a physician that doesn't know astrology is not a physician, but a fool. So in the old days, in the ancient times, a lot of physicians did believe in astrology and practice it in secret because they weren't allowed to practice it in open. So Nostradamus, he was around, wasn't it during the Black Plague and all that?
Yeah, but he healed people. He did surgery. They did C-sections. He did all kinds of stuff because he was doing things that none of the other doctors would do. He was already using anesthesia, I found out. I think I'm listening to book 3 right now. And Carrie added, yes, he was a scholar of the Kabbalah, as his ancestry was Jewish. Yes, it was, but he was French, I think he was in France at that time, right? So he spoke French and
He was an astrologer, and if you look at old medical books, that's how they knew each part of the body is ruled by an astrological sign. That's why each sign of the zodiac, Aries rules the head and face and the brain. Taurus rules the neck, the thyroid, the jaw. Yeah,
Okay.
Virgo rules the stomach. It's medical astrology. It's a whole
Oh
part.
boy, now you've just opened up
I
a
can
whole
come
can of
on
worms
with
for me.
that and tell you all kinds of stuff, but medical astrology is amazing, and we all have medical vulnerabilities based on our sun sign alone. But then there's other things that we look at. But in old medical books, there'll be a picture of a person, and
This
you'll
is my
see.
resin thing I made. I love
Oh,
skulls.
cool.
So
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I got to write this down now. I got to
Yeah,
look.
write it
I'm
down.
so
So,
excited.
so if you look at old medical books, it'll have the symbol. Every sign. Okay, I didn't tell you guys this. Every sign has a symbol associated with it. So Aries is the ram, and Taurus is the bull. Gemini is the twins, Cancer's the crab, and so on. And you can Google this.
Leos are lions with
The
big
lion,
names.
yes. Scorpio is the
Yes,
scorpion.
they almost have like a sigil, but it's not called a sigil, right? They have those symbols like upside down U's and all kinds of things,
And
right?
where the symbol comes from is what astrologers feel like it looks like in the sky. It looks like a bull. It looks like the face of a man, which is Aquarius, the water bearer. It looks like two fish. The Pisces is the two fishes. And so those symbols were on parts of the body in ancient medical books. And it was accurate. Virgo rules the stomach. We know that. Aries rules the head, face, and brain. Gemini rules the hands and the respiratory system, the lungs. There's all these things we know. And when we do a chart, I can see health vulnerabilities. We also look at the sixth house, which is the house of health. And we can see, what sign is on that cusp. Are there planets there? And there's a lot more to this than just your sun sign. But each sun sign shares the same health vulnerabilities as their polar opposite sign. It's like a continuum. They're going to have a Virgo will have Pisces rules the feet and the lymphatic system. Libra rules the back and the kidneys. You can look.
How about Leo? I got to ask you
Leo
about Leo.
rules the heart and the circulatory system.
That makes sense.
So
Okay.
they're prone to, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, things like that, AFib. But that's just your sun alone. You have to look at a lot of things to look at medical. But I can tell you where your vulnerabilities are. And in my sun signs book, that's similar to this one, I actually talk about what area of the body each sign rules, what health issues you might have, and some tips. Yeah. So that's in my sun sign book. But
Carmen, I could have you on every week. Like everybody's going, I need a Carmen in my life. Like
I would love to come on about medical astrology. I could come on and talk about that. That'd be cool. Yeah.
We're going to talk after this because, guys, I have a whole bunch of people. If you're watching, if you hear about this, Gavin, I adore you, a PR agent I work with in Wales. Yeah. I've gotten back to a bunch of people and life has got crazy and I need to email a bunch of people back. So we are going to have a whole bunch of incredible guests coming up and not much room. So I told Carmen, I'm not booking anything till I talk to her so we can have her back for the new book. And then I think, if you want to, we could do a whole show on medical astrology.
It's really good to know because, just little things. When I meet people, I just sense their energy. And one of my coworkers was telling me at one point, she was having all these surgeries and stuff and on her jaw and teeth and everything. And I'm like, and she was a Scorpio sun. And I thought, I need to look at your chart because you've got something in Taurus. I kept telling her and everything because the jaw and the teeth and all this stuff. And Capricorn rules the teeth and the bones and the joints. I thought Capricorn and Taurus. And when I did her chart, she had like a stellium in Taurus and she had a Capricorn rising. And so it all made sense. That was her vulnerable area. So you're going to look at a lot of different things to see. Yeah. Mine's my stomach. I'm a Virgo. They roll the stomach and the digestive system. That's me. Yeah.
Wow.
When I get upset or worried, it goes straight to my stomach. That's just where it is for me. That's my vulnerable area. And
but just the amount of information. We're almost out of time anyways, and please apologize to your person. I won't say who, that you promised that you would be there. But you know what? It's just so fascinating, so much to talk about. Yeah. So can you tell people again where to find you, how to sign up, where to get your books, everything? And she's coming back, you guys. She's coming back. I that's why I wrote audience favorite, because every time I have you on, I get also, you know what? To heck with all those, anybody that's a hater out there, you don't know what you're missing.
Thank you. Well, I'd love for you guys to follow me on Facebook. I'm trying to build my social media. So it's Carmen Turner-Schott, author, or writer, something like that. Carmen Turner-Schott, author. And then I'm Deep Soul Divers Astrology. Follow me on Facebook, Deep Soul Divers Astrology. And I'm on Instagram, Carmen Turner-Schott, author. Follow me. And then I have a YouTube channel, guys, with videos.
It's amazing.
And some things. And it's Carmen my handle is Carmen Turner-Schott. You can find my YouTube channel. Love for you to subscribe and follow me on YouTube. And then my website is www.carmenturnerschott.com. You can go on, get a free gift from me, which is your art wheel and a birth chart report, just to give you a little basics, a little bit of a taste of what astrology is about. And then, you can always contact me if you're interested in my books. They're on Amazon. I have an author page on Amazon, and all my books are on there. I have 9 books that I've written. There's 9. And so, let me know. I have some author copies. I always say of some of them that I don't mind to sign and mail to you. You can Venmo me, whatever. I do sign copies for those that reach out. But love for you to grab my books and join and follow me on all my social medias. I appreciate it.
You're also on LinkedIn. I tagged you even on LinkedIn.
I got something to announce really. Llewellyn, my publisher, we have a LlewellyCon 2023 coming up, which is a free event, and I have it marketed on my social medias. It's a free event with all 40 something authors, and we each are offering different free workshops. So I'm offering a free 30-minute lecture on live on Comcast. You have to register, about the moon sign strengths.
And when's that coming up, Carmen?
I will be doing it's going to be the whole month of June, and I'm June 26th at 11 a.m. Central Standard. But you can go on to Llewellyn Worldwide or follow me on Insta or on Facebook, and you can see the ad, and there's a link to register, and you can join all of these free workshops. And I'm going to be talking about the moon signs and strengths on June 26th at 11 Central Time. We'd love for you to follow me, and I'll be doing a Q&A at the end and telling you all about the moon signs, like a class. An in-depth little class, and it's
awesome because we're going to talk this week about getting you back on, and then I'm going to get that, and we're going to post it in my groups and on my stuff too as well, so we can share it.
Yeah, lots of interest. There's all kinds of authors with different subjects. They're going to have workshops, and
so cool.
I want to say that too.
Thank you for being here. Like I said, everybody loves you. I love you. And I'm so glad. Like I said, I wouldn't have found Sherry without you. I just happened to be on Instagram. I saw you were going live. I'm going, Carmen's going live. This is so cool. I never see her going live. And I was so glad that I popped in with you and Sherry. So everybody's so many great comments. I don't want to keep you. I'm not kicking you off here. I'm just going to sign off and everything.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and head out. It's great to meet everybody. Grab copies of my books and follow me on social media. Would love to hear from you. And if you wrote me, I will get your birth chart to you as soon as I can. I do work full time, a normal job. So
her muggle job, she's a social worker. So
so I'll get you your chart, and make sure to check your spam folder. I noticed that a lot of when I wrote back, it was going to people's spam, and they said they didn't get it, and I had sent it, and it was in the spam folder. So
I never check my email. I just happened to be in there. I must have been meant to see the birth chart and everything. So thank you for doing mine as well.
Thanks for having me. Okay.
Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of what's left of Memorial Day, and go enjoy your supper. Okay, much love.
Thank you.
I'm going to sign off here still, guys. I want to keep her. She stayed longer. Okay, you guys, thanks so much. Isn't she fun? Oh my God, I love her. I that's why I posted wherever I posted. She's an audience favorite. That's why I've had her back, because she's got such beautiful energy. She's so knowledgeable. And you know what? There's just some people that have a knack and a gift for being able to explain concepts that might seem a little bit difficult, but they're able to share them in a way that it's not really juvenile or condescending, but for anybody to be able to understand. And that's definitely Carmen. So you guys, thank you so much for being here. If you ever want to get a hold of me, and Carrie said, glad you caught me live. I'm glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a while, so I'm so glad you're here, my birthday twin. So, and thank you for all the nice comments about the show today. If you ever want to get a hold of me, maybe you got a guest idea, a show concept, anything like that, or maybe you want to book a reading. I do healing sessions. I do teaching and mentoring. Please feel free to get a hold of me on facebook.com/The Angel Rock. I also have 2 groups on Facebook, paranormal university for many of the paranormal things we talk about on the show. And then the Angel Rocker Tribe is for many of these spiritual and esoteric type things we talk about. You people that are here chit-chatting, I know there's many people listening around the world. You don't know how much I and the network appreciate all of your love and support. If you see something that you like here, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let your friends and family know there's something for everybody here. We have some great new hosts and shows, such as Faye Ewing Garza and Roger Garza that are here. They've got 2 new shows. We've got Paul Francis. We've got Adriana on Monday afternoons with all the incredible free business stuff. It's brilliant. Like, I'm glued to this. It's like liquid gold. Then I just met Carrie Ann. I think it's Spiritual Switchboard. I think it's Wednesdays as well. Like I said, check it out, you guys. There's so many new hosts on the network. Anyways, please stay tuned for the Horsefly Chronicles coming up next with Philip and Julia Siracusa. They're friends of mine. They have an amazing show, amazing guests. Lastly, don't forget to tune in. I will see you guys on Thursday with David Hansel, my co-host, with The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. And we decided so far, I think what we're going to be talking about are signs. Like, people are asking for, like, what are signs if a ghost is near? What are signs if there's angels around? What are signs if our loved ones are around? You know, things like that. We're going to build off of that. You guys know we just start with a topic and we go wherever you guys want to talk about it. So sending you all so much gratitude, love, and light. And I will see you again on Thursday. I'm trying to remember who I have on next week. I forgot to check, but you know, it's going to be an amazing guest. So we'll see you here as well on the Angel Rock, same time, same space. Okay. Happy Memorial Day to the rest of you. What's left. Love y'all and stay safe. And we'll see you in a couple days.